is virtually no single institution in the country where an employee was not a beneficiary of Jammeh's sponsorship. He has supported people who have become men and women of responsibility.
I am a living example of the products of the quality investment that His Excellency the President has done in this country. Having come from a high school graduate with no job and no training opportunity in 1994, because I finished my A-levels in 1994, to where I am today as Director of Budget of the Gambia. I attended the University Extension Program, which he established, bringing us university education for the first time on our own soil. And I graduated as part of that historic batch that graduated in 1999 as valedictorian. I have since had a 10-year career as a macroeconomist at the Central Bank, had further training sponsored by the government of the Gambia to do a master's degree in economics in the United States of America. And in addition to my professional work, I'm also a published author. I just launched my second book, Instant Success, 10 Keys to Personal Achievement. And by the grace of God, all of this would not have happened if I didn't go through the rigorous training that I got as part of the massive investment in education that His Excellency the President has pioneered in this country.
Thanks to Professor Jammeh's interventions, the Gambia is no longer heavily dependent on the service of foreign experts in areas critical to national development. His emphasis on science education is moving the country closer to a more self-reliant and self-sustained economy. For Jammeh, education is the key, the foundation, the cornerstone, and the mainstay of human prosperity. It has and will always be his promise that for every aspiring Gambian, the sky is the limit.
It is the world's fastest growing faith. One of every 4 people on earth finds spiritual peace in the words of the Quran. Nearly 1,400 years ago, the angel Gabriel came to Muhammad with revelations that he was to deliver to all of mankind. He spent the rest of his life communicating God's message and setting an example for how each human being should live. Today, many Americans associate Islam with images of violence and hatred. But such scenes are the work of a few suicidal fanatics. Their actions directly contradict the teachings of Muhammad and cloud the memory of a man who long ago brought a new message of hope and serenity.
It is not possible to conclude that the Prophet is a man of hate.
The Prophet of Islam is without doubt the most misunderstood major aspect of the Islamic religion.
Who was this man who founded Islam and brought spiritual comfort to so many?
Muhammad is often thought to be worshipped as Jesus is worshipped by Christians. This is absolutely and categorically not the case.
He was an ordinary human being with the same emotions, the same fears, the same insecurities that we live with.
Today, Muhammad's words of tolerance and peace offer many the same guidance as they have for centuries. God's messenger, the Prophet Muhammad. Out of respect for the beliefs and practices of Muslims, no image of the Prophet Muhammad or his immediate family will be shown in this biography.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.
5 times each day, over 1.5 billion people turn toward the ancient city of Mecca and offer their prayers to Allah. From New York to Indonesia, from Nigeria to the steppes of Central Asia, Muslims repeat the words first learned 1,400 years ago from the lips of a humble merchant and gentle teacher named Muhammad.
There was a time when he was very poor and he had only one blanket and he needed it, but there was a cat sleeping on the blanket. So he tore that part out, which was under the cat, because he did not want to disturb the cat, and he took the rest of the blanket and went away.
The life of Muhammad ibn Abdullah began in 570 of the Common Era. He was born in Mecca, a thriving trading community in the land that is today Saudi Arabia. No one could have known that the life of this child would become the foundation of a religion that would one day change history. At the time of Muhammad's birth, Arabia was a harsh, barren land, broken only by the occasional oasis. The Arabs who lived in this demanding world migrated from site to site, struggling to live off their flocks in the harsh desert. To survive in such a place, Arabs depended on the support of their tribe. The tribe protected them from harm, not only from the desert, but also from the endless raids and vendettas launched by other tribes.
Social life in pre-Islamic Arabia was grim, and Muhammad was born into a time of violence, turmoil, and despair, not unlike our own. The basic structure of social organization was the tribe.
But the desert nomads also depended on other Arabs who had gradually built small cities where they engaged in commerce. The most prosperous of these cities was Mecca, home to the young Muhammad. Muhammad was a member of a tribe called the Grts, who had left the nomadic life and become prosperous as trade. Muhammad had been raised an orphan. By the time he was 8, he was under the care of an uncle who was head of one clan of the Quraysh tribe. As the primary tribe of Mecca,